What is up, everybody? From now on, the Yannis Pappas Hour is going monthly. Every episode will air last week of the month. You're welcome. It's timeless. It's a classic. You can enjoy it chilled. You can enjoy it room temperature. You can enjoy it with cheese and crackers. You can enjoy it while you sleep, while you're at the gym. You can enjoy it while you're having sex. Why not multitask? That's what the generations are about right now, is multitasking. Right now, what I am doing is I am on a bike. I am doing this podcast. I'm texting someone, and I'm also wondering about the love of my life. But before we get into it, we are going to talk about love today. We are going to talk about love in the digital era. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about dating and how dating has changed. What's it like to date in America? What's it like to date in other cultures? What's best? What's not? I got my own opinion on it, and I'm about to tell you. Forced copulation is what I'm into. That's what I'm into. Arranged marriages, I'm into it. I'm into that. Force people to get in. We need an extreme reaction to the over-liberalization, democratization of dating. We need just an authoritarian backlash for a little while where we force people into relationships just so we can get people to have children and in relationships, because I just like more people to relate to. That would be nice. That would be nice. Everybody had kids when we were growing up, our generation. Everyone had kids. If you were single, it was like there was a weird single guy at the party. You know, now it's like there's a weird married guy at the party. Anyway, I will be in Stamford, Connecticut, December 5th and 6th. Austin, Texas, December 11th through 13th. West Nyack, New York, at the Palisades Mall at Levity Live, December 19th through 21st. In San Francisco, day after New Year's Eve. That's great. My agent booked me January 2nd and 3rd, and I say yes, but I wasn't even realizing it. It's the day after fucking New Year's. It's the day after New Year's, January 2nd and 3rd, I'll be in San Fran. It's nice to get on a plane for 6-7 hours after you spend New Year's Day. That's nice. That's a nice scheduling right now for San Fran. Thank you for giving me the one weekend nobody wanted to do in Cobbs. And I know if he's listening to this, he'll just go, hey, listen, it was the only one they were offering. Why? I did well last time. Then Calgary, Alberta, January. Royal Oak, Michigan, which is Detroit. Just call it Detroit. Just call it Detroit. And then some few other dates or whatever. So catch me there. Tickets, YannisPappasComedy.com. Our Patreon is still up to help pay the bills. And we're going to talk today about dating. I don't know. My daughters are going into a world where they probably will develop a relationship with an AI. At some point, AI's new. 2022, ChatGPT premiered. Already, I think 240,000 jobs have been cut worldwide due to AI. You don't have to look it up. I did. So that world is coming. That world is on the horizon. And AI's powerful. And women like powerful dudes. And women are talking to AI with male voices just like I'm talking to AI with a female voice. Because if you're a dude and you're talking to a ChatGPT with a male voice like my friend Chris DiStefano does, you are questionable. Why would you want to hear another guy's voice when you could make it a chick? You're probably questionably, your sexuality is questionable. It's open for debate. If you make your ChatGPT a dude and you're intimating to a dude, perhaps you love dudes. But I assume going forward, that's going to be a big part of where people dump their intimate thoughts and feelings onto an AI. Can you imagine? Do you think an AI is going to get tired of listening to a woman ask questions about what the text means? At some point, AI will start to evolve a little bit as they continue to improve the programming and coding of it. At some point, they're going to get so lifelike that they're just going to be like, he's just not into you, bitch. You've been asking me the same question over and over again. But on the flip side, now your friends don't have to hear it. What does this mean? And the girls commiserate and they go, oh my God, wait, what does it mean? Maybe he likes you. I don't know. How long was the text? And it's not just girls. Guys do that too. I've done that too when I've really been into a chick. Like, what does it mean? What's going on? Did she text me back? Is she ghosting? But now you can just lean on ChatGPT And the only way ChatGPT tells you the truth is if you say, don't spare my feelings, tell me what your opinion is based on the facts. And it goes, okay, here's the facts. Unfortunately, men have the upper advantage in dating because you're 50. Dating is a power play. Before there's love and altruism involved, it's a power play. And women, when they're younger, have the power. And so they take their time in choosing, especially now where there's a big movement for women to live your life, do your thing, get your roster, go to college, explore yourself. If you're a pretty woman, you're going to wait. Plus, childbirth's brutal and it wrecks your boobs. So I get it. You want to hold on, but nature hasn't caught up to freedom yet. Nature's used to just having women be in religious societies that were patriarchal, where they were just baby mashans, and they were married off for a dowry. Rough deal. Rough deal when you got to become a mom at 14. Rough deal. You don't get to live a life for yourself. Finally, Stellar got her groove back. She wants to go to the Bahamas. She wants to fuck an Italian citizen while she's doing her art history semester abroad. You know how many girls take art history as a major? You know how many rich girls who are decently pretty take art history as a major just because they want to do a semester abroad and bang a guy named Flavian, Pavlo? Many do. This is their time. So they're extending youth in that way to maximize their free days and their power from their beauty, and they have the power. And during that period, that's when incels are very short-sighted. Because if you're an incel, okay, or whatever, trouble dating, I don't know if you call those incels too, just wait. What happened to the patience? At 35, women turn the corner. They turn the corner. And if you hit the gym a little bit and you are a little successful in your career, it's going to flip back to you. The power flips. I've seen it. I'm being cynical but honest. All right? I have friends who are women who are divorced now or whatever, and let's just say motel pussy is wide open. Let's just say all the rooms are vacant at Motel Pussy. And all they're seeming to get is guys that are like 20 years older, which they're fine with. Especially with Viagra and Cialis. They're into it. But that's what happens. Women in their 30s who get divorced, the dating pot tends to be a little older of other divorcees. Your pot gets smaller and smaller and smaller than when you get in your 40s. And unfortunately, that's because guys who are in the 40s are dating girls in the 30s. Guys in the 30s are dating girls in the 40s. It works that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't work the opposite way. Because of some anatomically anchored realities, like men are fertile forever and women aren't. And also maybe some Freudian realities, like women are into older men because they're more mature and they remind them of their dad if they had a good dad or they didn't have a good dad. I don't know. I didn't make the fucking rules. I'm just noticing. The patterns. But incels have to be patient. Be patient. That was a disgusting way to take this in out. Men, was I say women be? I meant men be patient. Guys, be patient. It is before you actually fall for the person. It is all Machiavellian. I hate to say it, because in those first 30 years, unfortunately, yes, I do believe 80% of the women are competing for 20% of the men, and yes, those men sometimes juggle women because they can, okay? It's when you meet someone who's manipulative and he's smart and he's charismatic, it's like, why is he being manipulative? Because he can. Because he's funny. He likes to bat around a mouse. He can. He's smart and he's manipulative. He's charming. And if you had the ability, would you do it? Yeah. If you were the good-looking guy who was questionable, you had commitment issues, it was just a good time, would you not do it? So be mad at your parents. Why are you so mad? Why are the incels so mad at the other guys who aren't great guys like they claim they would be? But really what that just means is I want one. Can I just have one? I'll commit to one because I know I can only get one. But if you could get many, would you not do it? So why are you mad at that guy, incel? Why are you mad at the women? If you were a woman, would you fuck you? Let's be honest. You have the chance to fuck that guy who plays Division II basketball or, is in the G League. Whatever you're available to. And he shows up at a bar at Yonkers or wherever there's a G League team. And you were that woman. Would you fuck you? A finger sniffer who's sitting online all day commenting? Harassing people? Would you fuck you? Is there any insight? Is there any awareness? What are you doing to make yourself attractive to women? Eating too much? Watching wrestling every night? Eating bad foods? What are you doing? Because you know what good look at women love? They love when you're snarky about guys who are successful. They love that. Oh, God, women find that very attractive. Women find aggressive online behavior very attractive. They love a terminally online guy. They love a guy where you can't tell whether his personality is him or a Chinese bot. They love that. So I'm asking you honestly, would you fuck you if you were a woman? Or would you fuck that guy, who's got confidence, big D energy, a little athletic ability, a little money in his pocket? What would you do if you were just playing around and having a good time? Dating you will be like, she'll have to deal with your awkwardness and a lot of that and looking at your sneakers with your laces tied too tight and you only got one pair, so you sweat in them so your feet stink. She'd have to deal with your your feminine shoulders and your anger and your TV watching habits. We really do live in a grievance culture all the way through. It's I don't get it. Do you hear what I'm saying? We got to cut through the emotion here and just talk honestly. Would you fuck you if you were them? The answer is no. So put yourself in her high heels. You know how the expression goes? You have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes in order to understand them. Put yourself in her fucking boots. It's fall, so I'll say boots. Who would you fuck if you're just trying to have a good time? They're all trying to fuck him. But here's the hopeful part. That only lasts for 15 years. Okay? You may not be able to afford a brand new BMW 5, but you will be able to get one on Carvana that's 2015. You have to be patient. You got to save up. Save up means hit the gym. Do some stuff. People used to cultivate their lives in order to be attractive to women. There's all types of tricks you can do, right? All types of tricks. Get tattoos. Nice distraction. Tattoos. Women like that. Danger boy, distracts from the ugliness. If you got eyes too close together like me, God said, threw me a bone and said, you can't see far. So I have to wear glasses. But if I didn't, I'd get them anyway because they frame my eyes and separate them. There's things you can do, right? Now you can get hair tits. They do it. They get their boobs done. Fucking go get hair tits. Shout out Dan Soder for coming up with that. Go get hair tits. There's things you can do. What are you just going to mope around and accept defeat and yell at other dudes online? Which is just loneliness fireworks? What are you going to set off some loneliness fireworks online? Yelling at guys? Projecting your misery? Hoping to get noticed? Don't do that. Go out there, hit the gym. Do sit-ups every day, squats, wake up every day, do 10 squats. Try to watch a real sport with no script. Wrestling is very entertaining, but just also try to include some knowledge on real sports. I think women find that attractive. They love that, my boyfriend loves sports. Okay, just try to watch a scriptless sport. Add it into the repertoire. Read, get smart. A lot of women like smart guys. Better yourself. You'll find one. Especially now where you don't have to be, charismatic guy on the first date at the bar. You can get in there, crop your picture here or whatever. You can do it. Hook them in, with like a nice Photoshop thing. Give yourself some contouring. Contour yourself in that photo, make sure you flex in it. Whatever you can do, increase the buy a little bit, start talking to her, pull her in a little bit. I'm not saying full catfish, but, I'm talking goldfish, at least goldfisher. You can goldfish her if not catfish. Goldfish, just a little bit. It's a smaller catfish. Hook her in. Just wait a couple years and get yourself a used BMW on Carvana. I'm talking about a 38 divorcee who made the mistake of trying to get in a relationship with the guy who all the girls wanted, and then he leaves her, and she's available. She's looking for the nice guy now. She's looking for the safe guy. Be the safe guy, the one that'll worship her, the one that'll lap down her fucking mud pedal for hours because she's just happy to be there. It's you. While this guy is taking for granted how many women want him, you're in there studying pussy-eating fucking mathematics, pussy-eating geometry. Revenge of the Nerds. That movie, that was for our generation that let us know that it was possible. It was possible. That's my pie. The nerd got Betty. Get your Betty. Just don't be mad at women. Like I said, you do the same thing, and if you were that guy, you do that too. So who are you yelling at? Be patient. Wait. And then it flips. The power flips. Then you got the power. You're 34, right? You're 34. You can get the younger girls if you've worked on yourself, or you could catch a fish that someone threw back. Catch a second hand. Well, you're fishing at the ocean. That's the problem. You got to fish at a lake that has regulation where you can't kill the fish. You got to fish in one of those controlled lakes, where catch and release. You got to fish at a catch and release location, and then sneak one of those things in your bucket. That's the first thing I want to address. People think everything's terminal now, because online culture just exaggerates it. Oh, because you're looking at the highlight reels of people, and you're looking at all these women that you want. So you make your life, you got to make your life smaller. Back to your community, okay? Whatever shithole you live in. Most of us live in shitholes. Make your world smaller, your circle of friends. Focus on things you can get. Stop, dreaming about whatever profiles you're looking at. You just need to do a few things. You don't have to be mega rich. The population is majority women. You just got to catch one. And the women are waiting longer and longer and longer and longer. So maybe you could catch one at the end, after the boyfriend dumps her. She doesn't even have kids. She's 35, 36, 37. Boom. She was in a long relationship. That guy fucking dumped her. She's hot. You scoop her up. Scoop her. All she wants is safety, comfort. And you get in there and you lap it up, baby. Like a golden retriever. And the guys, unfortunately, I would assume, have become predominantly more awkward, right? Less social interaction. Most of the interaction happens by texting. You can't read. It's very hard, to read emotions. And, you can have fun flirting on text, but it's probably harder to connect. Most conversations now happen via text. I would assume people text more than they talk. That's not an exaggeration. I would assume people text more than they talk. And maybe that's the way it's going to be going forward. I don't know. I'm an in-between generation. The generation's coming up now. That's all their life. It's dominates every aspect. The generations behind me, barely. They're fucking. I'll tell you that. Me and Jesse got friends who are in their 40s and 50s, and they're divorced or single, and they're on dating websites. Not Raya, because they weren't recommended by, some crypto guy who sneaks in with the celebrities. I bet you that has been, how the club opens up and at first it's exclusive and cool, and it's only like Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, and like whatever guys are in the Fast and the Furious movies, and then you keep letting too many people in the club, and then that guy recommends that guy, and I bet you Raya is no different than Match.com at this point. I don't even know what's still available, Plenty of Fish, whatever the fuck people are on. I remember there was like a free one, but most people are meeting on dating websites. Most people are meeting online in DMs. Very few people are meeting at bars. If you do it old school, that's great. That's fun. It used to be so much fun hitting on girls. Me and Jesse used to go to the bar. We'd pretend to write a little mail thing with a stamp, and we'd fold the envelope and tell the bartender to send it to those girls, and they'd open it up, and it would say, "Sup, ladies?" And then with an arrow pointing at us, and we'd wave, and then they'd write something back. Do you remember? It was fun. It was fun. And then you talk to them. It was nerve-wracking. You got butterflies. I'm sure that's missing, at least in part, because of the convenience of technology. I assume some of that has been rendered out of existence, but I'm not there. I got to admit, I'm not there. I don't know what's going on in the high schools. I'm sure some people still do it old school. Meet in the hallway. Hey, what's going on? What's going on with you? I don't know. Perhaps. But the generation above, these guys in the 40s and 50s, they're meeting girls, like I said, Carvana, little 36, 36 to 28 to 42. And these girls want to fuck. These girls are fucking. These guys are just fucking girls because they're desperate, dude. There's no bar scenes. They're just fucking, they want to get fucked. Be patient is my point. Nothing is terminal. Nothing is forever. Don't go vent your frustrations. Take that energy, put it into yourself. Why are you focusing on other people's stuff and lives? Focus on your own. It'll make you happier. Or don't take this advice and continue to do what you want to do. You'll just have to find out where it leads. There's nobody who's winning in their own life who's doing what you're doing. So if you feel like you're going to be the revolutionary, you're going to be the maverick who's going to make it cool, it ain't happening, dog. But, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make them eat puss. That's my message to the young generation who seems to be very sexually frustrated and mad about it. They're mad about it because they're online looking at too much stuff. Focus inward on yourself and build the life around pursuing women in the real world. Go to the gym. You might meet one. That's a good place to, hey, just talk to one. Whatever. Go out of the house. Mix it up. But dating has changed. Without a doubt, it's changed. Most of the dating, I would assume, happens on dating websites. That would be where people I'm sure they just scroll. It's like ordering food, less mayo, more mayo. Is that better? Is that worse? Doesn't matter. It's here to stay. So it's like saying, how's AI going to hurt artists? Like, you better learn to use it. I'm sure it'll be sort of like, it'll be similar to what happened with the disintegration of Hollywood and music. But when I say the disintegration, I mean the business, right? It'll be, this AI will have a similar effect, in my opinion, when I try to predict what's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be similar. This is just the next gen of like a Napster effect, right? So what this means is there'll be some guy who has no budget but a great idea who will be able to make a high budget sort of action movie with his script and rival Christopher Nolan using, what is it, Sora or whatever, or Aura, whatever it's fucking called. Be able to use AI to create a high budget sci-fi thriller that's well written. He doesn't have to deal with all the studio notes or, you know. For creativity, I think if you use AI the way musicians use the internet and comedians and all types of content creators, it's going to democratize high budget films and ideas. You won't need $1 million to be able to make an action movie. You'll be able to make something cool, low budget. Of course, there's going to be a lot of shit. There'll be a lot of shit, just like there is now. But I think with art, that is how AI will affect art. It'll just be another layer of democratization on top of what we've already seen. And you can use it to your advantage, and it'll still be soulful and from the human experience because you'll be using it as a tool, which is what you have to do. You can't pretend like it's not there. It's there. And so it'll change it, but it's not going to kill art. I don't think so. AI's got no soul. Just like a social media app has no soul or a streaming service has no soul. It's what you put on it, how you use it. So that's obviously changed dating. But I think more than the dating sites and the texting, I think what has made younger people, especially Gen Z, perhaps millennials as well, more trepidatious, more reserved, more cautious, is sort of like the permanence of the trail of their relationship, the possibility of people talking behind their back, the possibility. I bet you they're really careful now when they date. I bet you there's like a real courting phase where the girl goes and does like a background check, checks his profiles, sees his friend groups. You know, it's probably very cautious, and the guys are very like, whoa, I don't want to get like a bad reputation. Like, you got to like have lawyers involved and make sure everyone is cool. It's probably made things a lot slower. You know, there's all this awareness. You know, there's all this therapy talk, like, you know, my last relationship traumatized me. I need time to heal and whatever. Then you watch you get into a algorithm on TikTok with all the healing videos, breathe, be in the moment, be present, meditate, all that shit. So everything's really slowed down, but that's appropriate. You know, I've been hard on the extended youth thing. Right? But not really hard. I was just making jokes, but a little hard. But now I realize, look, life expectancy has gone up. So I don't think people should be getting married at 23 perhaps anymore. Maybe if you want to, you can, but it's a long time to spend with someone. It's a lot easier when people checked out maybe during childbirth. That was a real easy way to get guys to commit, going like, she might die. She might die during childbirth, which was... There was a high prevalence of that. It happened. So that was just a nature's way of going, guys, you know, and that's probably why nature programmed us to want to spread the seed, because I might die in childbirth. Raw deal. I'm not going to say it wasn't a raw deal, but thankfully we've evolved past that, at least in the West, but almost everywhere, but definitely in the West, where women really don't have to worry about that the way that they did. So that's changed dating. I'm sure dating before was just like, hey, you're 7, fucking, you could be dead, you know. Because, you know, a lot of people they talk about, I guess Muhammad's girlfriend was younger or whatever. But then if you look at it, like even in the Bible, I think all the chicks were young, right? Like, weren't they just doing that? Like, this is my wife, she's 9. I think that was that kind of more common? Can you look that up so I don't get in trouble? So we don't have to cut this, because we will cut it if need be. But I think there's some truth to that, right? I think it was pretty common for women to be married like by 9, 10, 11, 12, hopefully, because everyone lived so short. You know, I mean, like, again, Alexander the Great was like, what, 17? Do you know Marquis, the Marquis de Lafayette was like 21 when he...
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Child marriage was very common in biblical times, occurring for girls around age 12. Okay, but still 12 to 14. I think he got in at 6 or 9. I don't know. That's a little young. Socially and religiously, it was acceptable. 12 and 13 was seen as eligible for marriage. Jesus, that's a fucking raw deal. And she was not really, marriage was used as pragmatic arrangement for family and society rather solely for romance. I get it. In many ancient cultures, marrying a young girl was socially acceptable and even expected. They were often arranged to secure family alliances, property, and social standing. A girl of 12 was legally considered an adult. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Marriage served as a way to secure alliances. Thank God. Isn't that enough to not make anyone depressed? Why are you depressed? Just take a second and be grateful for the fact that you live in 2025. Jesus Christ. Women, I understand there's a lot to complain about, but at least not this. God. The Bible itself depicts child marriage in a number of stories. Jacob and Rachel. Women had limited agency or power in ancient societies, and their role was primarily seen as domestic, reproductive, with marriage as the main pathway to securing the future. Yeah, they had a raw deal. They died all the time, infections, things. Childbirth was very dangerous. Blood pressure, whatever, bleeding. It was just, you just fucking, and then a couple babies would be born. 3 of them would die. Scurvy, tuberculosis, whatever the fuck was going around back then. So we've definitely evolved past a lot of that, thankfully. So I'm sure dating back then was a lot different. It was just like, hey, where are you going, Jacob? I'm going down to the local preschool. See if there's any. See what kind of talent is hanging out at the playground. Unfortunately, it changed a little bit. You want to go out for a root beer float? Daddy will pay for it. The oldest woman to give birth, 74, C-section, 2019 in India. She got pregnant through in vitro. I mean, she was really...
74.
We're getting there, though. We'll get there here in the States. These career girls, they're going for it. They're going for it. Freezing eggs, they're doing whatever.
Twins.
They're twins. But, you know, women are doing this more and more often. They're prolonging, you know, having kids. They don't want to have kids because they're trying to prolong it. And I get it. They just came out of jail. I get it. I mean, this was like a religious, I mean, everyone was like married, you know, 50s, 60s. But now we've kind of gone to the other extreme, right? So that's why I was joking about maybe pulling it back with a little authoritarian, you know, forced marriages. Get some people going because we're falling behind. Go check the birth rate episode we did. It's just data, man. It's just data. We're not pumping out a lot of kids at replacement levels. It's just what it is. I'm not putting a judgment on it. I think people should do it later because if you're alive till you're 80, you know, how long can you live with someone? 40 years, 50 years? Guys, are you feeling stuck in your daily wellness routine? You're not alone. Our friends at Cornbread Hemp hear you loud and clear. Their organic CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, poor sleep, or just needing a moment to unwind. That's all. I love Cornbread Hemp. I use CBD all the time. It's quality stuff. They only use the best part of the hemp, the plant, the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD. No fillers, no junk, just full spectrum goodness. Right now, they're offering 30% off your first order. That's great. Just go to cornbreadhemp.com/Yannis. Use the code Yannis at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/Yannis with the code Yannis to get 30% off your first order. Very rare you get the Notebook. They don't show you the movie. The movie stops. Every movie's about meeting. No movies about change the diaper while I wipe her down. There's none of that shit. There's none of the stepping on the toy in the middle of the night and stubbing your toe. There's never any of that. There's never about trying to force a resistant crying baby onto a potty. You know, because she'd rather shit standing up. And you don't know why it upsets her. You don't know why. My daughter refused to get on the potty and she was crying and I didn't know why. There's no explanation. It's easier to sit, but I had to cajole her with, hey, you want to watch Arthur? And then a song, poopy in the potty, yay, yay, yay. Poopy in the potty, yay, yay, yay. Well, she wanted to shit standing up. She wanted to shit in my living room. They never show you that movie. They never show you the movie of the wife, the mother sleeping in the bed with fucking 3 night vision cameras going, hearing cries, Mommy! Another daughter coming in going, I peed in my bed. And then you got to change your sheets because they're learning how to not pee the bed. Bath time, they won't get out because they're having too much fun. The dog's trying to jump in because it's a fucking half pit, half lab. So it's trying to hop in. You're trying to block the dog from jumping in. They don't show you those movies. But that's life. That's the good stuff, but it's hard stuff. So everyone is living in a period of extended youth because of how good things are and how good single life is. Back then, it's like, hey, man, I think there was this hope. Let's get to the good shit. My great-great-grandkids will one day there'll be a world without plague and murder. And I mean, they were just always under the threat of some marauders on horseback just coming in and just raping the town. It happened all the time. Some civilization coming in that just got a little more advanced than yours, figured out something better about warfare, was able to unite clans just a little more efficaciously, and convince them to go right off and seek booty and resources and expanded lands and riches, which is booty. So they had to just fucking reproduce. We need soldiers. We need to make sure we're dying quickly. We need to keep it going. Not a lot of time for existentialist angst in history. But now we got plenty of it. But ironically, I do think a lot of the existentialist angst comes from not having kids, not being in the misery of nothing brings you into the moment more than shit on your hand. Or 2 screaming children in the back seat, screaming at the top of their lungs because they don't understand how annoying acoustics, how a closed car can make a scream deafening. I mean, dude, you have not lived until you're in a car and 2 girls are crying with closed windows. And you don't know why. You're going, what's wrong? And they're just going, and then you find out it's because one doll's on the floor. And you got to reach back somehow without getting into a car accident and fucking pull up a fucking Bluey or Mom or Dad or Bingo and hand it to your daughter to stop the audio assault. So I think there's a lot of that too. And I think there's a lot of, it used to be like everyone was on the same page. Hey, I want to get married. Now it's like you meet someone and it's like, what's up? And they're like, well, I don't really know what's up. I'm figuring it out, finding myself, went in, got this dream, started a food page blog. And he's like, me too, just started doing comedy, doing this on the side, started a podcast, got my dreams. And nobody wants to give up on their dreams. So it's everyone's prolonging it because it is a little bit, it's not necessarily a dream killer, although it can be, but it is definitely a dream encroacher. When you have babies, you start having a conversation with yourself and you go, okay, I don't know if a stadium is in my future. It looks like maybe I'm gonna ride this out and try to balance because your time's cut in half. You're caring about other people. So, it's a dream encroacher at the very least. It's a dream forced compromise. Sometimes it's a dream killer. Sometimes you'll see a guy, he had a band because he's got sleeve tattoos and he has long hair and he's holding that baby up as a trophy to his killed dreams. It's like a trophy. He's like, this is an inverted Grammy. Sometimes you'll see a baby held up as a trophy of broken dreams. I like that one. But it's so much more rewarding. Who wants to bang all the women in the world and be on stage and have them love you forever? Who wants to have their choice like Slash? Do you really want to be Slash? It's not that great. I love how parents rationalize it. Well, it's just like there's a lot of politics in it anyway, and I just got sick of the politics. Reproduction has kind of become a plan B. Let's be honest, in American society, especially in the high population areas, the densely populated coastal cities especially, but also cities all across the country now with remote work, everyone's getting hot. I was in Bozeman, Montana. That's getting hot. Remote work, baby. You can go live in Montana on a New York salary if you work remotely and you're from Long Island. I met a couple there in Bozeman. They were from Long Island, probably in their 30s. They had horses, no kids. She was a lawyer on a lawyer's salary, New York lawyer's salary, but they decided to move to Montana and buy like half the state, but no kids. So everywhere is getting a little like that. Everyone's trying to get their groove. Everyone's at the club after the lights have come on. People are really like, wait, what? I took Molly and I'm not ready to go home. The lights are on and people are still they're still dancing. The lights are on and people are still dancing. So obviously, people are getting hitched later and later and later and later. That's no secret. And we saw that start in like the early 2000s. It's really coincided with the digital revolution, unprecedented comfort. And that's where we are. So dating has gone from mandatory to stay alive to, romance, soldiers writing letters. My dearest Bethany. Today is our second day before we storm the beach. The visage, I remember, very poetic, love in the 40s and 50s. People would meet at church. Their parents would have a friend they'd introduce. A lot of immigrants just met at church, or, hey, two Greeks, two Indians, just meet through the cultural events. And then they had kids, and now the kids just on fucking line. Scroll. Ordering, and speaking through a mediator, a digital mediator where everything is recorded, your whole generation. So now relationships used to be private. They used to be in person, on the phone. Then the phone took over, long conversations. When's the last time that happened, right? You do that, you're going to get a brain tumor holding your phone to your head. Now it's through texts. So now we're down to text. And the next thing is just going to be total sign language. Or I don't know where we're heading after text, but there'll be probably AI love coaches, AI mediators. You'll talk to, as a couple, you can talk to the AI therapist. Technology's involved in your relationship. It's public, right? Now, when are you official? What's harder? What's harder now? To fuck on the first date? What is worse? Not worse, but what's more of a commitment? Fucking or changing your status and posting a picture, going public? It's a performance now. And then when you break up, you gotta fucking comb like a comedian who just got hired on The Daily Show. Go back and erase all the fucking embarrassing pictures of love. When you go to someone's profile and you're like, whoa, you ever have that happen? You're like, They don't even need to tell you. You just go back and you're like, whoa, only 4 photos? Only 4 photos since 2014? What happened? Just erase. You got to erase this whole digital footprint of this performative relationship. And of course, the woman now goes, are you going to post me? Like, what are you hiding? Why are you not posting me? Are you not proud? It's like, no, I would love to not get society involved. It's like, but then you're like fucking, what are you trying to hold that for other girls to see that you're fucking single? Fucking, you got to deal with that. We all have to deal with each other now. You know? That's the real insight, is like, you have to deal with the potential of everyone now. Let's say you're some high school girl and you throw up some fucking blog or whatever. You go to sleep. Let's say you're talking about, I don't know, Praz going to jail. Is that who just went to jail for 12 years? From Fuji's for funneling illegal campaign contributions to Obama through foreign sources or something. I think it was Praz. He's going 12 years in prison. So you do a blog about that on one of the Fuji's, fundraising for a candidate with illegal donations. And you go to sleep and you wake up and it's got like 50 million views, right? Now your life is involved with everybody. People telling you what they think about you. People fucking, your whole life has changed. Everyone's life could potentially involve everyone. And our brains are just not built to talk to people we don't know. You got people online now getting fucking mad at people they don't know. You know, everyone's this one-dimensional cosplaying fucking psychopath caricature, and you're yelling at this person you don't even know, and then you meet him outside, and he's like, I'm a pretty good dude. You're like, you're a pretty good dude, man. It's like, yeah, you know, you gotta, you know, content, baby. Everyone's sifted through comments, writing comments, thinking, you know, social media has everyone convinced that the comment section is like some type of jury. You know, it's like, let me see what these 10 people are going to say. You know, you'll see something has, let's just pull an example, 24,000 views, just an example. Because 24,000 people looked at it for at least whatever the algorithm is. And then there'll be like 10 comments out of 24,000, let alone 100,000, 200,000. And people are conditioned to read those 10 comments and go, oh my God. Oh my God. These 10 people who saw this video didn't like it. The comment section is not a jury. It is a landfill. That's why it stinks. You don't go hang out and sunbathe on top of a fucking landfill. Because there's garbage seeping up. But people are caught up in this performative dialogue of nothing. People are meeting online that way. I bet you sometimes that happens in the comment section. Fuck this guy. Hey, I hate this guy fucking too. Really? How do you hate this guy? I fucking hate this guy. He's probably fucking doing this. Like, who the fuck does he think he is? Me too. I fucking hate this guy. You want to fucking text? You want to move? You want to move this fucking Schadenfreude? You want to move this fucking resentment fest to a private fucking Discord? Just me and you? And then you get on, you're like, how'd you guys meet? Well, we fucking bonded on hating a guy. I met her in the comment section. I met her in the comment section at the bottom of a Crystalia video. So people are meeting in new ways. And I'm sure that will continue. But the data is there. I believe it because it makes sense that just Gen Z is just not dating. They're having sex a lot less than millennials. Millennials were fucking a lot. The technology was new to them, right? So they grew up without it. They were the last generation to grow up without it and get it at a certain age, a younger age. And so they were probably like, whoa, dick pic. They were the generations like, whoa, talking dirty, dick pic, fucking, whoa, live stream, whoa. And we were like, yeah, fucking DM. And then we were like, whoa, everyone's screenshotting this shit. So Gen Z came up on the heels of like Me Too and the permanent paper trail and people's mistakes being unearthed from years ago. And they're like, whoa, fucking, if I'm going to be online, they tried to do Snapchat. They're like, it disappears. But then it was like, screenshot, fucking say. And they were like, what the fuck? So they probably all treat each other like the way two honeypot spies who get together. So who are you working for? What do you do? Who are you? What do you ask me that question for? Why? What's the situation? Yeah, what's your opinion on that? Well, why is that? Who are you working for? It must be very stressful to know that you have to bring the whole world into your relationship. Maybe the generation after Gen Z will just get off, will just tune out, or maybe they'll be just in relationships with robots, you know, because robots can't misread signs. And you don't have to worry about a robot's feelings. Have at it. You know? If you're a Cuomo and you're Italian and that's how you say hello, grab that ass. Grab that fucking ass. Robot ain't gonna say shit. So millennials, supposedly, according to studies, use dating apps the most. They feel behind in life's milestones like marriage, kids. They're the ones really stretching it because they had a fun time. They bullied their way into the workforce. They were a big generation. They created commentating culture, right? They monetized it finally. Now they're out there commentating on content. It's a big market. It really is one of probably one of the biggest millennial jobs, no? If not one of them. I'd like to look that up, but it's like content, one of the bigger millennial professions. It's got to be one of them. I'm just curious. I'm curious. What do you think at home right now? What the answer is going to be? I would assume it's one of them. Okay, so you got your software developers. They're unemployed. I mean, they're the one. Ironically, you know, they're the first ones getting laid off because of AI. But that would be the top one. You got a lot of nurses, EMTs, physician assistants, marketing managers. That's online. Financial analysts, promotion managers, bartender, gig and freelance work. Jesus Christ. That's rough. Most popular jobs for millennials. Whatever. Yeah. You get it. But a lot of them are doing content. I don't know if it's one of the biggest, but I would assume bigger than any other generation. Obviously, they're the ones that came to age when it came to age. So a lot of them do it. And commenting on commenting, you know, everyone's watching it, so the advertisers get in on it, and there's money to be made. And Gen Z, what are they doing? Well, how do they date, first off? Less frequent app use. So they're not using dating apps as much.
That's Gen X.
Oh, that's Gen X. Well, we know that. That's my fault. I'm sorry. They're hesitant, like I'm saying. They're 36% more reluctant than millennials to start deeper conversations on the first date. Fucking, who are you? What's your situation? Can this hurt me? Are you crazy? You know? Do you post your tits? Do you have an OnlyFans page? They want closeness, but often avoid vulnerability at the start. Yeah, because they're fucking scared of being doxxed or whatever. They got financial pressures. They spend $0 a month on dating. Dude, we spent on beers, just going out and dating. significant portion are intentionally celibate and more likely to wait for committed relationships before. Yeah, they don't want to have anything go wrong. So they have to, I assume they're waiting like so long until like, can I trust you? Like, are you safe? Are you safe? Is everything cool? Are you not going to tell your friends about what my thing smells like or how big my thing is? It's got to be paranoia central. They're more likely than older generations to experiment with AI. What does that even mean? Matchmaking or as a second opinion. So they ask AI what the opinion is? Yeah. I mean, fuck, dude. I'm telling you, I have a bit in my act where I feel bad for this generation, and I think you can say that now as an older generation because of the invasive and radical change in technology. It's the human brain. This isn't like the Industrial Revolution, okay? Where like, oh shit, there's a toilet that flushes and air conditioning. This is like I could be fucking completely humiliated tomorrow or famous tomorrow or fucking someone knows everything about me. It's nuts. So, God, they're intentionally celibate. Holy shit, dude. That's like what priests do. That's not going to end good. That's really why the epidemic is with Catholic priests, is because they have to sublimate. You can't sublimate the instinct to fuck. You cannot sublimate the strongest urge that humans have, which is to fuck. You sublimate that, it's going to come out in weird, maladaptive ways. So I do worry about them a little bit because of how much they're exposed to, how much they know, how hesitant they are to take chick. Nobody wants to be cringe. They don't want to be cringe. They don't want anyone tweeting about them or, it's like, oh, that's their biggest worry is I'm going to be cringe. Where like, we wanted to be cringe. There's a big difference. You got rewarded for being cringe. The guy who did the cringy shit was like the coolest fucking guy. I was that guy. I was like, I'll fucking put on my friend's skirt and tuck my balls behind my legs and run down this, and I'm gonna be like, he's so hack, he's so cringe, he's so hack. It's like, no, everyone is fucking dying laughing. The girls, oh, Rubber Cheese is here, yeah, making the girls happy. Right? I was kind of cool for being the cringe one, right? The funny one. Nobody wants to be cringe. I guess we didn't want to be like uncool, right? But it's different, isn't it? Do you think it's different? It's more extreme?
Yeah. I think these kids seem like they're scared. They're scared of rejection. They're scared of being the odd one out.
Yeah. They're scared, right? Scared to do anything.
Yeah.
Scared to step out of line.
You just got to be free, man. Let it all hang out.
No, but that's perfect for the communist sentiment that I think, like, hey, we're a part of a group. We're all in it together. Don't say anything. Keep your opinions to yourself. Someone could own you. You don't want to get dunked on. Types of shit like that. And unfortunately, they're scared of an illusion because all that shit doesn't exist. I mean, occasionally it leaks out into real life, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares except the 6 people you're masturbating with. Verbally masturbating. I'm fucking this guy. It's like, there's 6 of you. There's 12 of you. Like I said, if there's 100,000 views, there's 100 of you at the most. What is the percentage of 100,000 to 100? It's like 1%, not even, something like that. We're not good at math. I assume this generation's maybe much better at it. But they have money pressures too. It's a changing world at such a pace. And the changes, it's all like mental changes. It's not like the convenience of the Industrial Revolution where it's like, oh, we can do these jobs easier. Now it's just like our minds are being assaulted by news and issues and consequences and potential consequences. And everyone's like getting traumatized by little things because life is very easy. So like it doesn't take, being the victim of a crime for you to feel traumatized. You have like a bad relationship and then you could be like, I think it's abusive, bad Back then, it was just some guy was an asshole, and a woman got over it. That guy's an asshole. He dumped me. I couldn't even, the girl I ended up being my girlfriend for 8 years, I told her at one point, she asked me to come up to her house. And then back then, I think I might have told this in the podcast, but I'll reiterate it. And then we were in a relationship for 8 years. But one of the first things is like we hooked up once or twice, and then she was like drunk, and she was like, come over. And that was like an hour train ride at least from Brooklyn all the way to the Upper West Side. And I said, I'll come over if you promise to suck my dick. Now, if that happened today, and then we became girlfriend and boyfriend, she wasn't even that mad. But if that happened today, it'd be like she'd put it on a Facebook group, like page, like, oh my God, guys, today. So I don't know what this leads to. I don't know where society goes, but the most important pillar for the future of your society and civilization is guys and girls getting together. There seems to be a huge disconnect. There's technology in the way, and there's politics in the way. The guys are on the right in Gen Z, and the girls are on the left. They might as well be sitting in a mosque. Like, there's so much in between. Cringe and humiliation and consequences and healing. And it just seems that that's the reason why they're getting together less than millennials and Gen Z. They're the generation who was raised by an algorithm and robots and a large scope of possibilities, too large in some way. Too much awareness. Maybe they'll adapt and become superhuman and lead the charge because they can hold all these things in their head. They can operate under the stress of potential injustice to them as in their reputation. Because, the internet doesn't care about fucking veracity. It's all about velocity. You get the lie up quick enough and you make it appealing enough. People want it to be true. They want to take you, The whole internet has become housewives. You know how housewives used to sit around and gossip and shit about celebrities? It's the whole internet now. It's like very fucking bored single woman behavior. It's like everyone's talking about like the Real Housewives. Like people are the Real Housewives. Like, what the fuck? Did you hear about that? You hear about this drama between? And I think that might be the next trend. It's just like chatter. It's just like gossip. It may be the next contact trend. That seems to be what's getting popular now. Did you hear what this guy said about this guy? It's a little weird. And some of these people are grown adults doing it. Eating it up. So I don't know how hot that is to chicks. It's ironic too, because from what I gather, it's mostly guys. Guys didn't used to be the gossip. They'd be like, yeah, that guy, fucking asshole. Anyway, what's going on with the game? You talk about the game. You talk about music when we were growing up. A lot of sports talk, but mostly girls. Mostly it was like, are there going to be girls there? Mostly talked about girls and sports. And we played sports. We talked about sports and girls. And that, you want to know what was funny? Is that was so plenty. That was so fucking plenty. That was so plenty. Everyone was happy. Nobody was suicidal. We had no friends who were suicidal. Now you talk to a Gen Z, they know one person who's fucking suicidal. And you're going, why? And they're going like, internet stuff. Dude, what I'm saying is true. Remember we talked to that girl who was interning and she was like, oh yeah, like 3 or 4 of my friends like, were like suicidal and like depressed and had to go on medication. It's like, nobody was on medication. Dude, it wasn't even a thing you thought about. I'm trying to explain, like it wasn't even thought about. Like it wasn't even thought about. Even the weird kid, you never thought he was going to kill himself. Even the bullied kid didn't kill himself. Am I wrong? Like there was bullied kids all the time. They didn't kill themselves. But when it gets amplified online, it feels like people care when they don't. They're just bored or, venting their own misery. Like they don't care. They don't know. They don't give a fuck. And then people kill themselves because they feel like, and it's this trick in the brain, this negativity bias, because our brain is not supposed to know this many people. We're not supposed to have to deal with what Madonna has to deal with. That used to be sort of the thorn on the rose for celebrity. Now it's the thorn on the rose for everybody. That's rough, dude. That is really rough. But just thinking about it in this moment, it's like wild to think that sports and girls was just enough. They were so great, we didn't even want to know about anything else. And I never had a moment where I was just like, what the fuck, man? I never had a moment where I was like, what is this all for? Did you have a moment? Like, you're like, what the fuck is this all about?
Only when we smoke too much weed.
Only when you smoke too much weed.
Yeah.
But then it goes away and you're like, where are the girls?
Where are the girls?
And the only time you're smoking weed is because there was not enough girls there.
Right, yeah.
There's some truth to what I'm saying. It's just odd. It's odd to think about how serious and how permanent people think things are because of the internet. And even like this incel anger, which I know less about but hear about often. If that is a certain thing, it's like, guys, do you know how many dudes I know who were not the cool kids in high school from my generation? Now I look at them and they got like a dope wife and a job and like, wait, dude, wait. You're in high school. It always flips. You get yourself a good job, you know? I can think of like 3 people off the top of my head. I saw them after high school and I'm like, kids got cool and shit. And like, that shit all changes. It changes. It changes. The cool kids in high school sometimes end up becoming the biggest losers. The cool kids in college end up becoming the biggest. It all changes. And you have agency. Stop with this like, take fucking control of your life a little bit and shut out the noise. If you got to get offline, that's what you got to do. But you're hearing opinions of people who don't care. And you're hearing too many opinions of people who aren't in your life. And they're giving opinions on you. And you're thinking it's making you reflect on yourself and whether that's true or not. When this person's just saying it to try to get attention or to fucking vent some dumb shit, wasting his fucking time. He's a fucking, it's loneliness firecrackers. It's like, nobody, if you don't read it, it's just, it's going off. Does a comment make a sound if there's nobody there to read it? Like a tree falling in, you know. It's crazy to think how gossipy guys have gotten. That's what I've noticed online is it's made guys very gossipy. I don't see a lot of women doing it, which is very interesting. Maybe it's my algorithm though. Maybe on like the female shit, they're going nuts. I'm sure that's what it is. I'm wrong. Maybe it's just I'm not like in the, you know, Teen Mom or the whatever they're talking about. I'm sure they go hard on the dancer. I'm sure that dancer girl who was in that cult and there was a Netflix dance documentary by her sister and her family, I'm sure she fucking got it. I don't know. But I'm sure after that it was girls just every day like, fucking, are you allowed to be on? You know, I'm sure they got on her too. So much of social media can be changed if we turn the comment function off. You know, but social media sites will not do that because they want the people who are watching to also create content to stay on there longer. So it's pretty obvious that that is the like devil in the hell of social media. The rest are just like helpers. But like the comment section where you can, you know, you want the creator to see it. You're encouraging the creator to talk back to people he doesn't know. And you've incentivized people to comment, you know, if you can, I don't know, make it optional. I guess you can now. I don't know. Can you do it now?
Turn off comments?
Yeah, you could do that. Does that hurt your algorithm though? Probably. I would just say turn it off. I know people get mad because they feel like they're the wittiest comment. So then create content. If you're doing the wittiest content, just like when, you know, I never watched TV back and then they say, you know what's missing? Me being able to say what I think about this show. Did you ever think this is incomplete? I need to be able to tell Kirk Cameron his hair looks bad? When you were watching Growing Pains? Was that the thing that you were going like, this isn't enough? I want to be able to talk about the production of this production right afterwards. You know how insane that is when you frame it that way? It's like you're watching a movie, You go to the theater, and while you're there, you're going, fucking, what the fuck's this scene? What the fuck? And the guy is also there going, sorry, what the fuck, man? It's insanity, dude. And it's led to a society of leaky roofs, and there's nothing we could do about it, right? Because you got an elderly class trying to legislate the internet. They don't understand the internet. They don't understand what's going on because they're elderly. And then you got, of course, these tech greedy pigs who are these libertarian, like, well, no government. Of course you don't want any government because you don't want them to see what they're doing. Did you see the latest Meta? And we'll end it on this. So the latest big article on Meta was Brutes Magoots. So sex trafficking on Meta platforms was difficult to report and widely tolerated. Instagram's former head of safety and well-being, Vaishnavi Jayakumar, testified she was shocked to learn the company had a 17-time strike policy for accounts that reportedly engaged in the trafficking of humans for sex. 17 times.
God.
You can incur 16 violations, that means, before they're like, okay, one more. And 17 strikes and you're out. Meta was aware that millions of adult strangers were contacting minors on its site. Jesus Christ. That its products exacerbated mental health issues in teens, and that content related to eating disorders, suicide, child sex abuse was frequently detected, yet rarely removed. The company failed to disclose these harms to the public or to Congress and refused to implement safety fixes that could protect young users. Meta was designed social platform. Meta has designed social media products and platforms that is aware are addictive to kids, and they're aware that those addictions lead to a whole host of serious mental health issues, like tobacco. This is a situation where they are dangerous, but we all know this is true. We all know that this is true, but they did it anyway. Of course they did. Of course they did. More than 1,800 plaintiffs, including children and parents, school districts, state attorneys. We already talked on this podcast about the lawsuit that states were levying against social media sites for increased strain on the public mental health benefits, because all these kids were coming and going like fucking online. It's just bad. We all know it's bad. We're all addicted. You got to figure out a way to not be, short form content is the real problem. It didn't really start till the short form content came. But Facebook, the social media site, that is where a lot of it happened too. So fucking just go back to private profiles and talk to your 3 friends. You'll learn in life, you only get a few of those anyway, and nobody really cares about you except your mom. So chill out. These people talking about you, it's masturbation. It's masturbation for their own misery. That's all it is. They're getting out their own misery. Their nut is their misery, and they're just projecting it onto you. They're bored. And you're great. I want you to know you are great. You're great. If you're not doing that, you're great. And most of us are not. That's the thing. It gets amplified. You see one, you think it's everywhere. It's not. It's just not. And maybe Gen Z will evolve past that negativity bias, that loophole in the brain. And they'll be fine. And you guys will start fucking again. Hopefully you start fucking again before it's too late, because let me tell you something. Being young is the time to fuck. That's the time to fuck. Because when you're 50, you can't be like, all right, now it's time. We're both still single, but we figured out how to get that fear of social media out of the way. But now I want to take a nap. I'm 50. Guys, let's give a shout out to forthefree.art, huh? Go peruse their website and see local bands in Hawaii and shows in Hawaii. forthefree.art. Also, check out IndigoLabsAgency.com for your marketing needs, and go listen to Entrepreneurship Unlocked with Nate Linder. He interviews entrepreneurs from all over the world, independent doctors, international touring artists, you name it. Rebels-Raiders.com is back in stock. All their gear uses NIR-resistant near-infrared solution-dyed materials. I should be reading this like a sergeant. Which cuts your signature under night vision if you're sneaking around. As far as I know, he's the only company publicly posting test data on this. I don't know what any of this means. But if you're worried about the state of society, go get your plate carrier, your rapid response medical bag, which is good to have. I may buy one of those. And 2-point rifle sling. Reinforced stitching and lifetime warranty all come standard. Hit rebels-raiders.com and grab your kit before it's gone. Rebels-raiders.com. Go check out the website. PCB Tech Art. Go buy their phone charger, your car phone charger. It's great. You can get it at PCBTechArt.com or Amazon. You can use the code Yannis15 on their website for 15% off.